everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. This is my very first video. I'm very excited. So before we begin, I would like to tell you guys just a little bit about myself, for you to get some insight about me. I already told y'all my name before. It's Mavis. I attend UMass Dartmouth. I'm a second year at UMass Dartmouth. I'm a psych major, also on the pre-med track, and I will talk a lot more about that in my other videos, hopefully, so you guys, whoever is interested in my career path, can also learn from me and my experiences. I just turned 20 a couple of days ago. Happy birthday to me. What else? Reasons why I made this YouTube channel. Okay, so let's see. I love to educate, so I figured what better way to do that than just make a channel, So whatever I feel like talking about, or whatever is important at the moment, we can all gather around, talk about it, and share opinions and learn from each other. So my very first topic, I took a poll on Twitter before I did this so people could tell me the content that they would like to see, and stress in school got the most votes. I wonder why. Right, so I think the topic of stress in school is really important because nobody really talks about it as much, but we all go through it. It happens to all of us, and nobody really teaches us, like, how do you fix it. We just make it a part of college culture or school culture in general. It's not a normal thing, and I don't think it should be normalized. So what is stress? Stress is our body's reaction to any change that needs an adjustment or a response. What that means in layman's terms basically is, if you're used to a routine, you do something every day, but it gets disrupted. Like, for example, let's say you sleep by 9 p.m., but since you have to stay up every day to do homework till, let's say, 12 a.m., it gets you stressed because that's not what you're used to. That's not what your body is used to. There's something in our body called the autonomic nervous system, which activates our flight or fight response whenever it's needed. Now, if you're stressed, your body is going to activate that flight or fight response. And if your stress is prolonged, it's going to stay on. The flight or fight response is going to stay on being activated, and it's going to overwork itself, which leads to the mental and physical repercussions that we see. Now, as college students, I've come to realize that there are a lot of things that we like to do to ourselves to make us stressed. Let's start with poor time management. Some of us, most of us, have terrible time management, and you know what I mean. Yeah. We stay disorganized, we procrastinate, we take on too much than we can handle, and all of that really puts a lot of stress on our body. There's also things that are beyond our control, like test anxiety. Some of us are really scared to take tests. You could really have a stressful life event happen, like a death in the family, something like that, which can lead to you being stressed. Another really important factor that leads to stress in school, I would say, is our strive for perfection. Now, I really understand this one because I'm very guilty of it. I would rather sometimes put my mental and physical health on the line just to make sure I secure that scholarship, just to make sure I get that A, just to make sure I get into that program. There's always something, always. But how does that affect us in the long run? And I understand that we usually do this because there's people looking up to us. We have our parents to please. We have the world looking at us to see what we're going to become. It's very stressful. I get that. But we also have to think about how that affects us in the long run. Prolonged stress can lead to people having trouble concentrating, having trouble remembering stuff, like turning in your assignments, aka me, skipping class, feeling irritable, angry, being tired all the time, throwing up, headaches, all that stuff, feeling really overwhelmed. You also realize that you worry a lot more than usual, and you can't eat, you can't sleep, and I would know because that happened to me last semester. I, for one, could not get out of bed. I wouldn't go to class. I'd forget to turn in stuff all the time, and by the time I realized, work was just piling up on top of each other, and that made me more stressed. It was just a never-ending cycle of stress. And to break that cycle, I had to get help, and that's what I'm going to talk about right now. How do we deal with stress? We can start by learning how to improve our time management skills by, what are those things called? Keeping a, what are those called? An agenda. yeah, I was gonna say journal, but it's not journal. Keeping an agenda. And that doesn't work for me because I be forgetting to write in my agenda. Now, if you're like me, then there's an app called My Homework, and I think it would help you a lot more. So what I do is at the beginning of every semester, I gather all my syllabi, gather all of them, and then I schedule the date for every exam and every due date in that app. So I set up reminders in there as well, and whenever something is due, it tells me 2 or 3 days before it's due, so I know. And it tells you where your classes are. It's pretty great. So that was my first step towards reducing my stress, and it worked for me. So I'll put the link to that app in the description somewhere when I figure out how to do it, and you guys can maybe try it out and see if it works for you. We can also learn how to not procrastinate. Do your work. Just do it. Just do it. You heard me? Just do it. So what keeps me in check when I procrastinate is my vision board. So I made a vision board on my computer instead of actually like cutting and pasting, because I love art, but I don't got time. I really don't. And where would I hang it? So I made it my my laptop wallpaper. So whenever, you know, I feel like slacking off, all I have to do is just go look at it and then remind myself of why I'm in school, my main purpose for being here, who is paying for it, because my parents will chop my head off if I don't do well. So that is also a motivator for me. So find a motivator, something that pushes you, you know, to actually get your ass up and do your work. Some people also say that working out, letting out all that frustration, helps them to reduce their stress. I've come to realize that eating well is very, very important. Believe it or not, is very, very important when it comes to stress reduction. Because I realized that I wouldn't have time to eat, so I would come home and then get like, I don't know, a bag of chips and some soda, eat and go to sleep. And my body just did not feel right. It didn't. And I know y'all know what I mean. Like when you actually start eating right, you realize that your body's different. It just feels better. Everything is great. Everything is better. So eat well. The all-nighters, I understand. Listen, I understand. But don't come and kill yourself. You really don't need to come and kill yourself. The all-nighters, if it really isn't that important, go to sleep. My rule is, if I don't know by 1 a.m., I'm not gonna know it. But you shouldn't let that be a thing. You should know the material, and you should be studying weeks in advance, or not waiting till the the night before an exam to come and stay up all night to study. Some all-nighters are useless, and we do it to ourselves. So let's try to reduce that and spread out our work more. Another factor, and I cannot stress this enough, keep some good friends. When it comes to friends, I have a lot of experience when it comes to shitty ass friends. Excuse my language. But when it comes to terrible friends, I've had a lot of experience with that. And it did nothing but contribute to my stress even more. So I would really advise you to get some friends that will help you through your times of stress, not friends that will bring you down even more. It's very, very important, and it's going to help you and your friends in the long run. Make sure you call your parents, call your family, whoever you feel a strong connection to. Whenever you're going through something bad, always have that one person that you could just pick up the phone and call to calm you down. I have come to realize that that helps me a lot. Instead of just sitting there and brooding, thinking and thinking and thinking, it does nothing but just make you even worse. Lastly, most importantly, let's make sure to major in something that we love. Let's make sure that the career that we're building on is something that we really are interested in, and not because our parents had to do it, not because it's a family trade. Just do what you love, because what's the point of going through all this stress to go and be in a career that's going to stress you out even more? You feel trapped in there, and that's not something that we would want for ourselves. Let me repeat it again. Do what you love, okay? Alright, thank you guys for watching my video. Thank you for subscribing. If you haven't already, please do so. I'll also attach all my other social media handles so you guys can follow me, add me, whatever, because I do take polls on Twitter mostly. I'm gonna try and do Instagram as well, so I can figure out what you guys want me to talk about in my next video. This was my first time doing this, so hopefully I did well. I know probably y'all could tell I was nervous, and I really was, but thank y'all for staying through this video. I'm gonna do more videos about whatever it is that we want to talk about. And that's how this channel is going to be. It's going to be like a lifestyle type channel, you know. So I'm really looking forward to recording more videos like this, where we talk about very, very important topics that we usually would brush aside as a youth. And as a psych major, it's very important to me that we talk about topics such as depression, anxiety, stuff like that, and also for personal reasons. I would like to enlighten other people on it, and to learn from other people how they handled theirs, and to let other people know that they are not alone, that we're in this together. So hopefully this channel serves its purpose, and I hope you guys really, really like this video. There'll be more coming. Let me know exactly what to talk about, and we will. Thank you.